After a full day of testing, Xiaoyu completed her analysis. It turned out that the creature was not a monkey or a primate, but rather a human, or someone who used to be human. Its body contained a large concentration of the zombie virus, which allowed it to infect other creatures and turn them into zombies. The virus core was connected to other zombies, enabling it to control them. The zombie king possessed intelligence, allowing it to evolve. This was evident from how the zombie attacks constantly adapted their methods. Bailey suspected that the white monkey thought like a human. One of the team members concluded that they simply needed to eliminate all the white monkeys in Tianhai City to end the zombie crisis. Xiaoyu agreed that, in theory, this was true. However, Junwoo felt something was off. If there were many zombie kings, then that monkey wasn't the true king after all. Xiaoyu admitted that discovering the real one was important, but tracking the original source of the outbreak was extremely difficult. There was not enough evidence to investigate it yet. All they could do was speculate based on observed behavior. Bailey felt relieved. At least now they had a clear goal. Once they eliminated all the white monkeys, the zombie outbreak would end. Bailey thought this mission wasn't too difficult. The real issue was just the overwhelming number of enemies. Wu Di wondered how long it would take to eliminate all the zombies. He had a plan to gather every zombie in one place and destroy them all at once with his power. Bailey said that if it were really that easy, the Central Command wouldn't have needed to send them to Tianhai. However, Junwoo thought it was a good idea, which made Wu Di happy. His idea had been acknowledged by the captain. Bailey then questioned how they would gather all the zombies. They were scattered across various locations. Even if they could gather them, their numbers would be overwhelming, and the team might be unable to handle them all. Junwoo suspected there was a mastermind behind the zombie attacks. They only seemed to target military bases with large human populations. If they gathered everyone from all the bases into one location, that might attract the zombies to attack. And at that moment, they could eliminate all the zombie kings in one blow. With this, Junwoo also wanted to test his theory and throw off the enemy's expectations. He explained that the zombie outbreak in Tianhai was still relatively new. It had only spread to neighboring areas in small numbers. The majority of the zombies were still concentrated in Tianhai City. Xiaoyu commented that this phenomenon didn't follow normal logic. If zombies carried the virus in their bodies, they should act on biological instinct and spread outward into more distant areas. Junwoo felt there was something odd about it. The population in Tianhai City shouldn't be enough to sustain the zombies. Yet, the zombies remained there, and even targeted the military bases. Junwoo suspected that the zombie kings might have been artificially created by someone or a group secretly operating in Tianhai. If that turned out to be true, then this issue would fall squarely under the responsibility of the investigation team to eliminate the threat. Meanwhile, at the Yanqing base, the zombies that had previously fled suddenly stopped and froze. The soldiers were confused. Xiao Honglian didn't know the cause either, but she didn't waste the opportunity. She immediately ordered her troops to wipe out the remaining zombies. Her assistant suspected this might be related to the investigation team from Jiangnan district. Honglian admitted the possibility, but it only made her more anxious. If they truly had managed to resolve the zombie outbreak in just one day, then their power was truly terrifying. Meanwhile, in the Snow Sect, Li Jian and his wife were searching for their son, Kai Lei. After the zombies retreated, they were unable to find him. Up ahead, the couple suddenly panicked. Their child lay on the ground, his body soaked in blood. Sitting beside him was the sect leader, holding a knife in his hand. The scene clearly indicated that something precious had been taken from Kai Lei. In a panic, Li Jian ran forward to stop them. But the sect leader's power repelled him, throwing him to the ground beside his wife. Yuan Kongye appeared upset by what Li Jian had just done. Zhang Yi approached the sect leader, trying to calm him down, as he seemed to have lost control. Once calm, Yuan Kongye insisted that sinful acts could not be forgiven, and that he was simply helping to purify them. Zhang Yi nodded and said he understood. He then escorted the sect leader away. Li Jian quickly rushed to his son. When Li Jian and his wife checked on their child's condition, they noticed a young girl sitting quietly in the corner of the building. The girl's name was Bei Bei. She had seemed close to Kai Lei, but now, she was trembling with fear. Li Jian's wife approached her to ask what had happened. The girl explained that they had almost died during the zombie attack. But luckily, the zombies suddenly turned away. At that moment, Kai Lei kissed her, and the sect leader saw it and acted immediately. The girl held back tears, trying to make sense of it all. She didn't understand why the sect leader reacted that way. Meanwhile, Yuan Kongye and Zheng Yixian were inside a private room. Yuan Kongye began to question himself. Had he done something wrong? He believed he was only trying to help others walk the righteous path. Zhang Yixian agreed, saying the real issue lay with the boy. In the apocalypse, love had no place. Romantic relationships between men and women that were not pure had to be forbidden. Yuan Kongye lamented that people didn't understand what he was trying to achieve. If all his followers were like Zhang Yixian, the world would be free from impurity. Zhang Yixian obediently replied that the world would soon become exactly as Kongye desired. Kongye knew the boy had influenced Lin Jian, and worried that Lin Jian was suppressing his emotions. But Zhang Yixian reassured him. Lin Jian would understand the true intentions behind Kongye's actions. Elsewhere, Kai Lei, now conscious, was crying out in despair, while his mother tried to calm him down. Outside, Lin Jian was speaking with Zhang Yixian. Zhang Yixian reminded Lin Jian to stay focused on his duties. He then asked about Kai Lei's condition. Lin Jian said his son's physical wounds had healed, but the psychological damage would never go away. He told Zhang Yixian that the sect leader had taken away his son's masculinity and shattered his confidence. These words angered Zhang Yixian. He shouted that romantic love only brought chaos and should not exist. If men and women did not entrust their future to the sect, they would become the cause of all problems. Zhang Yixian emphasized that this principle applied not only to Lin Jian's son, but to everyone. All must follow the same path. Lin Jian said that he understood the message, but could not accept such a distorted logic. He began to question the very existence of the Snow sect, which could not even guarantee its followers a future. If people were forbidden from having children, humanity would simply go extinct. Inside a vehicle, Jun Woo was watching the movement of zombies on a map. He planned to make the Snow sect's base a gathering point. He explained that the sect had many followers, and was located at the center of the map, making it a strategic location. Jun Woo ordered his subordinates to contact all remaining bases and ask them to gather at the Snow sect. Soon, base commanders received the orders to assemble at the Snow sect. At the sect, Zhang Yixian informed Yuan Kongye that the investigation team wanted everyone to gather at their headquarters. It appeared they were preparing for a massive zombie horde attack. Kongye knew this was not good news. He regretted that many people would die, and that it would pose a threat to them as well. Zhang Yixian said he would begin making preparations immediately. Kongye trusted him to handle everything. Yuan Kongye declared that they no longer needed to worry. With the gods on their side, the followers of the Snow Temple would be blessed. Meanwhile, in the living room, Zhang Yi received the message and questioned why they had to gather at the Snow sect, considering the place had already fallen. But he soon realized that this wasn't just about gathering. It was about a final battle against the zombies. Zhang Yi suspected Jun Woo's team had discovered something important, but he couldn't understand what it was. Just then, Sin arrived and asked what was troubling Zhang Yi. Zhang Yi called her over and shared the information with her. Sin wanted to know more about the Snow sect. Zhang Yi explained that the sect was made up of people who had suffered deeply. They lacked power and resources, yet they had many followers. Sin quickly pointed out that this was the sect's strength. She stated that they were gathering there because it had the largest population in Tianhai City. If every unit from all bases gathered there, it meant the Jiangnan team was planning to eliminate all the zombies in one single battle. Zhang Yi was shocked. He began to realize that Jun Woo's team might actually have a way to end the outbreak. Sin didn't deny it. That group was indeed powerful. She pointed out that they had access to a much larger information network, and with all that data, they had likely discovered the root of the problem. Zhang Yi admitted that their previous mission had failed. Due to a lack of knowledge, they had only speculated and ended up in mysterious danger. Zhang Yi then gathered everyone and shared the newly acquired information. He told them this would be a massive battle, an alliance of humans against the zombies. Zhang Yi was amazed that Jun Woo's team had moved so quickly. In just one day, they already had a plan in motion. Still, Zhang Yi emphasized that his goal remained unchanged: to protect everyone in his group. He reminded them that their lives must always come first. Everyone nodded in agreement. Euchre appeared anxious about the battle Zhang Yi would face. They could only wait at home, filled with worry. Zhang Yi explained that those not involved in the fight had to stay behind. They wouldn't be able to protect everyone once the fighting started. But Euchre insisted that medical personnel were crucial, and that she could help treat the injured. Zhang Yi reminded her that she didn't have the ability to protect herself, which could cause complications later. Euchre knew his words were true, but she still insisted on helping. She believed this battle would be different from the others. The scale would be much larger, and Zhang Yi would definitely need logistical support. She was also sure that other powerful groups would bring their own logistics teams. Uncle Yu agreed. Euchre's argument made sense. Logistics, especially medical support, were vital in a prolonged war. After thinking it over, Zhang Yi finally allowed Euchre to join them. Still, she had to stay at the very back of the formation, and could only step forward to treat the wounded when it was safe. Euchre was thrilled and thanked Zhang Yi. She promised to express her gratitude personally later. Karen took the opportunity to join in, claiming her shooting accuracy had improved recently. But Zhang Yi reminded her that guns were still ineffective against zombies. He instructed everyone, except Euchre, to remain in the shelter. Sometime later, they began preparing to move to the designated location. Zhang Yi handed a weapon to Euchre for self-defense. Just in case. It was a vital tool, especially if they had to face human threats as well.